You left a warm, stable relationship. It was incredibly peaceful. There were no midnight fights. There was no screaming. But you called it boring. You packed your things and walked away. Instead, you chose someone entirely new. They are emotionally unavailable. They leave you on red for 6 days. They treat you like an absolute ghost. Yet, you are completely and utterly obsessed. You check your phone every 4 minutes. Your chest feels tight. Your stomach is in knots. Why do we do this to ourselves? Why does coldness feel like attraction? Tonight, when the world goes quiet, you will check their social media. You will scroll through their photos. You are looking for a hidden sign. A sign that they might actually care. But there is only cold silence. We chase partners who treat us like ghosts because our brains are fundamentally glitched. Roughly 1 in 4 humans has an insecure attachment style, and this emotional blueprint has held for thousands of years. We run from peace because our nervous system confuses chaos with chemistry. We invented sunscreen because our own sun is trying to kill us, yet we chase people who destroy our peace for the exact same reason. How did we get here? Let us look inside a simple laboratory box. In the 1950s, a psychologist named B.F. Skinner designed a simple cage. He placed a hungry pigeon inside the cage. The cage had a small plastic lever. If the pigeon pressed the lever, a food pellet dropped. First, Skinner set the lever to work every single time. Press, food, press, food. The pigeon pressed it when it was hungry, then stopped. It was completely stable. It was predictable. It was incredibly boring. Then, Skinner changed the rules. He made the reward completely random. Sometimes the lever gave food. Sometimes it gave absolutely nothing. This is called a variable ratio schedule of reinforcement. The result of this change was terrifying. The pigeon did not stop pressing the lever. It pressed it frantically. It pressed it thousands of times an hour. It became entirely obsessed with the lever. Does this frantic behavior sound familiar? Your phone is that plastic lever. The person ignoring you is B.F. Skinner. And you are the frantic, starving pigeon. When someone texts you back immediately, your brain relaxes. The reward is guaranteed. There is no mystery to solve. The dopamine spike is completely flat. But when their reply is rare, everything changes. Will they text back this time? Will they call you? The uncertainty triggers a massive flood of dopamine. Your brain is not reacting to their love. It is reacting to the possibility of their love. We chase them because the pain of waiting makes the rare reward feel like ecstasy. Why do we let a silent phone control our heart rate? In 2005, neuroscientist Dr. Helen Fisher put rejected lovers into an fMRI machine. These were people who had just been deeply abandoned. She scanned their brains while they looked at photos of their exes. The results were shocking. The brain scans did not show sadness. They showed intense addiction. The areas of the brain that lit up were the nucleus accumbens and the prefrontal cortex. These are the exact same pathways that light up during a cocaine withdrawal. The brain does not process romantic rejection like a social event. It processes it like a physical substance addiction. When they ignore you, you are not suffering from a broken heart. You are suffering from a chemical detox. And the only way to cure the detox is to get another hit of their attention. So you wait by the window. You double text them. You compromise your dignity. Because your brain is screaming for its drug. But the glitch goes deeper than chemistry. It goes back to your very first years on Earth. In the 1960s, British psychologist John Bowlby developed attachment theory. He discovered that the way your parents treated you determines how you love today. If your caregivers were warm and consistent, you developed a secure attachment style. You believe you are worthy of love. you believe others will stay. But if your caregivers were inconsistent, sometimes warm, sometimes cold, you developed an anxious attachment style. Your nervous system learned a dangerous lesson. It learned that love is a struggle. It learned that to get warmth, you must beg for it. You must work for it. You must chase it. Now, fast forward 20 years. You meet someone who is emotionally stable. They text you back. They tell you they like you. They are peaceful. But your nervous system does not recognize peace. To your anxious brain, peace feels like dead space. It feels like the quiet before a storm. So you call them boring. You run away. And then you meet someone avoidant, someone who is hot and cold, someone who ignores you. Suddenly, your nervous system wakes up. The alarm bells ring. The familiar panic returns. Your brain says, "Ah, yes, this is love. This is the familiar struggle." You mistake your activated survival system for chemistry. Are you actually in love with them? Or are you just trying to heal an old childhood wound? We play this game because we want a rewrite. We think if we can just make the avoidant person love us, we will finally prove we are worthy. We are trying to win a game we lost decades ago, but you cannot win a game designed to keep you losing. Let us look at our ancient ancestors. 50,000 years ago, exile from the tribe meant certain death. If the group ignored you, you froze to death, or you were eaten by a predator. Rejection was not an emotional bruise. It was a death sentence. So, your caveman brain evolved to treat social exclusion with extreme panic. When someone ignores your message, your modern brain does not see a busy person. It sees a predator lurking outside your cave. It tells you to run after the tribe. It tells you to beg for inclusion. Your survival system has been hijacked by a blue screen. We are using a 500,000-year-old brain to navigate a digital world. Is it any wonder we are so exhausted? Every time you check your phone and see no notifications, you're taking a step closer to the edge of the cave. The cold wind is blowing. The shadows are moving. And your brain is pleading for safety. But the safety you're chasing is a trap. The person ignoring you cannot save you. They are just another scared caveman, running from their own fear of intimacy. So, how do we break the chain? We must reframe the boredom. When a stable person feels boring, you must ask yourself a hard question. Is this boredom, or is this just the absence of panic? We have spent so long living in a burning house that we think peace is a lack of oxygen. It is not. Peace is just room to breathe. You do not need to fight for love. If you have to chase it, it is not love. It is just a variable reward schedule. It is just a pigeon pressing a plastic lever, and you are worth more than a pellet of food. Stop trying to force the stranger in your head to love you. Stop trying to rewrite your childhood with people who do not care. The next time they ignore you, do not double text. Do not stare at the blue screen. Let the silence sit in the room. Let the panic wash over you. And then, walk out of the cave. The tribe is not going to abandon you. The predator is not real. And the only person you're actually running from is yourself. We spend our whole lives chasing people who run away, hoping their return will make us whole. But they only run because they are empty too. Two empty people cannot build a home. They can only build a bigger ruin. So close the tab. Put down the phone. Look at the quiet room around you. Feel the uncomfortable, beautiful silence, and realize that the peace you have been running from is the only thing that can actually set you free. One hurts for a moment. The other hurts forever. You do not need a chase to feel alive. You just need to stop running. Think about the energy you waste on their silence. Think about the mental maps you draw. You're analyzing their words like a detective. You decode every punctuation mark. You measure the time between their texts. Is this really living? Or is this just a slow, painful self-imprisonment? We stay because we fear the emptiness of starting over. We stay because we think nobody else will see us. But they are not seeing you anyway. They are only seeing a mirror of their own avoidant fears. You are playing a game with a ghost, and a ghost has nothing to lose. In 1998, psychologist Dr. Arthur Aaron conducted a famous study on closeness. He created 36 questions to build intimacy. It required mutual vulnerability. Both people had to look each other in the eyes. It was terrifyingly direct. It succeeded because both players were present. But you're trying to play that game alone. You're answering both sides of the conversation in your head. You write their excuses for them. You defend their neglect. Why do you protect the person who is hurting you? Because to admit they do not care is to admit something worse. It is to admit you made a mistake. And your ego cannot tolerate being wrong. So you keep investing in a failing stock. You throw more time into the fire. You burn your self-respect to keep them warm. But the cold always returns. No matter how much of yourself you burn, they will never have enough warmth for you, because their coldness is not a choice. It is their armor. And you cannot break armor with a text. You cannot heal them by drowning yourself. So look at your hands. Look at the phone. Notice the sudden urge to check their profile. Breathe through the discomfort. Let the cold wave wash over your skin. You will not break. You're not a helpless child anymore. You do not need their validation to survive. The sun will still rise tomorrow. The air will still fill your lungs. And the silence will eventually start to feel like a shield against their chaos, a shield for your soul. We have been conditioned to believe that love must be a war. We think the victory is only sweet if the battle was bloody. But love is not a battleground. Love is a sanctuary. It is the place you go when the battle is over. If your relationship feels like a constant war, you're not in love. You're in a siege, and you are the one being starved out. So open the gates. Walk out into the open field. Let them keep their empty fortress. You have nothing left to defend. The stranger in your brain is finally quiet. The panic has faded to a dull hum. You're standing in the quiet ashes, and for the first time in years, you can hear yourself think. You're worthy of a love that shows up. You're worthy of a love that answers. Stop playing the frantic pigeon. It is time to leave the cage behind.